Sri Aurobindo describes here the nature and action of the psychic being. The psychic being is developed by the soul to interact with the external being. It gains experience, and it gains power as this development occurs. The psychic being develops over many lifetimes and carries the essence of experience, but not the external personality, from birth to birth. The prominence of the psychic being and its ability to guide or control the external being and personality is conditioned by the development and maturity of the psychic being in its evolutionary process, and the power and dominance exercised by the parts of the external personality. There is a clear distinction between the aggrandizement of the mind, the vital, and the body as they pursue their characteristic lines of fulfillment, and the action of the psychic being, which is focused at all times on the manifestation of the divine intention. The Vedic seers identified the ultimate reality as Satyam, Rutam, Brahat, the truth, the right, the vast. The psychic being is ever attuned to manifesting that reality. All that is egoistic, self-dealing, desire-filled, is contrary to the aspiration and intention of the psychic being. As the outer instruments develop, they focus on their own modes of action and try to achieve what they understand to be their purpose and their fulfillment. They are, however, instruments whose powers are being developed, not cognizant of the ultimate role they are intended to play once the psychic being comes to the fore. Sri Aurobindo observes, quote, "The psychic being can at first exercise only a concealed and partial and indirect action through the mind, the life, and the body, since it is these parts of nature that have to be developed as its instruments of self-expression, and it is long confined by their evolution. Missioned to lead man in the ignorance towards the light of the divine consciousness, it takes the essence of all experience in the ignorance to form a nucleus of soul growth in the nature. The rest it turns into material for the future growth of the instruments, which it has to use until they are ready to be a luminous instrumentation of the divine. It is this secret psychic entity, which is the true original conscience in us, deeper than the constructed and conventional conscience of the moralist, for it is this which points always towards truth and right and beauty, toward love and harmony, and all that is a divine possibility in us, and persists till these things become the major need of our nature. It is the psychic personality in us that flowers as the saint, the sage, the seer. When it reaches its full strength, it turns the being towards the knowledge of self and the divine, towards the supreme truth, the supreme good, the supreme beauty, love, and bliss, the divine heights and largenesses, and opens us to the touch of spiritual symphony, universality, oneness. On the contrary, where the psychic personality is weak, crude, or ill-developed, the inner parts and movements in us are lacking or poor in character and power. Even though the mind may be forceful and brilliant, the heart of vital emotions hard and strong and masterful, the life force dominant and successful, the bodily existence rich and fortunate, and an apparent lord and victor. It is then the outer desire soul, the pseudo-psychic entity, that reigns, and we mistake its misinterpretations of psychic suggestion and aspiration, its ideas and ideals, its desires and yearnings for true soul stuff and wealth of spiritual experience. If the secret psychic person can come forward into the front and, replacing the desire soul, govern overtly and entirely, and not only partially and from behind the veil, this outer nature of mind, life, and body, then These can be cast into soul images of what is true, right, and beautiful, and in the end, the whole nature can be turned towards the real aim of life, the supreme victory, the ascent into spiritual existence. End quote. Reference, Sri Aurobindo and the Mother, The Psychic Being, Soul, Its Nature, Mission, and Evolution, Section 1, Meaning and Nature of the Psychic Being, pages 31 to 32.